Hi, my name's Andy Torres. I'm the director at the American Embassy School, and it's really nice to greet all of you for this second webinar this week for our elementary, our high school, and our middle school programs. Tonight, today, this morning, wherever you are in the world, you're going to hear from our amazing high school team, who is surrounded by some of the most amazing teaching talent that I've had the pleasure of working with in my entire career. These ladies and gentlemen have put together what I think is an innovative and thoughtful program that's going to meet the needs of your children as they move forward through these next several weeks as we begin online on August 4th with an eye on face-to-face on-campus instruction sometime in the last part of August. We're here to answer your questions tonight and to provide you with information that's going to allow you to know what's going to happen with your students, your children, as they come into our school and into our classrooms. We're encouraging everyone to submit as many questions as they like. We have a Q&A question at the button at the bottom of the screen. And all we ask is that you submit just one. Questions often have their questions skipped over or not answered completely, and it makes it easier for us, the five of us, to make sure that we are addressing your needs in this webinar. Ultimately, I also need to let you know that I look at this webinar with great interest. I'm not only the director of the school, but also today, I'm also a parent, as my children are moving into the high school here at AES. So I'm going to turn this over to Iftikhar and his amazing team to tell you about the programs that we have in front of us over the next several weeks. Iftikhar?
Hello, everyone. My name is Iftikhar Saeed. I'm the high school principal. Welcome to our second high school webinar. We had our first one a couple of weeks ago, and I know many of you were there. Thank you for that. If you weren't there, and this is your first high school webinar you're attending, we'll take some time to introduce our team so you get to know us, and then we'll talk a bit more about our the main purpose of this meeting or webinar. And the two topics that we're going to talk today, one is the connected campus in high school, how we will do some of the overview of some of the decisions we are making right now. And we also talk about how we are designing the first 8 days in high school. We'll get into some of the details, and more details will come as we move forward from today in the next few days. So please stay with us, and once again, thank you for being with us. Depending on which time zone, it could be morning, afternoon, evening. We appreciate your time and your listening. As I said, I'm the high school principal, and this will be my 5th year at AES. We are here with my family. My wife is a high school mathematics teacher. I have 2 kids, one in middle school going into 8th grade, my daughter, and my son, who will be going into 5th grade this year. And this will be our 5th year in New Delhi, and we are loving it. With that, I will pass to Darwin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Darwin Kitch, and I'm the high school assistant principal here at AES. I'm joined by my wife, Dana, who teaches French in the middle school, my daughter, Kiersey, who is going into grade 9, and my son, Aiden, who is going into grade 7. We just completed our 3rd year, and I can't tell you how fortunate we feel to be part of the AES community. And we're really looking forward to the school year ahead.
Hi, I'm Teresa Gelming. I'm the IB, AP, and mini course coordinator, and this is my 6th year at AES. In fact, 5 years ago today, I first walked out of Indira Gandhi Airport and was welcomed by the AES administration. And I've enjoyed every minute of the last 5 years and look forward to the 6th very much. Prior to this, I was at Cairo American College in Egypt for 11 years and teaching and living in Portland, Oregon before that. Amanda?
Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda DiCardi, and I am the new high school technology coordinator this year at AES. I'm thrilled to be joining this community. I'm joining my husband, Andy Torres, and with us are two daughters, Madeline, who is entering grade 11, and Amelia, who will be entering grade 8. Very excited to be part of this community. Thank you.
At this point, I would like to introduce the rest of the members of the high school leadership team. Adrian?
My name is Adrienne Garcia. I am the English Department HOD, and I teach English 10 and IB Language and Literature Year 2. I've been at AES full-time for, this will be my 4th year, but I've been in India for going on 6 years.
Hi, I'm Chris Fazenbaker, and I'm the head of department for the world languages. And I will be teaching Ab Initio Spanish years 1 and 2 this year, and Language B Spanish year 1. And I'm excited to start my 7th year at AES.
Hi, my name is Rob Radke. I am currently the head of department for science. This is my 5th year teaching at AES. I'm here with my wife, Elizabeth Zadu, who teaches humanities in the middle school, and both of us cannot wait to get back to India.
Hi, my name is Sunshine Campbell, and excuse me, I'm the head of department of the mathematics department, and I teach high school math 1 and AP statistics. I have a son who is going to be a senior and another son who will be a sophomore. And we are also very excited to get back to India.
Hi, my name is Celine Lahert, and I am the new head of department for the visual arts team. I will likely be teaching IB Year 2, photography, advanced photography, new media, and advanced new media. This is my 2nd year at AES, and I'm also looking forward to this new year of learning.
Hi, my name is Thomas Wesson. I'm the HOD of the Performing Arts Department. I will be teaching IB Theater Year 1 and 2, Intro to Theater, and Movie Making. I am starting my 4th year here at AES.
Hello, hello. My name is Benjamin Strever, and I am the Student Support Services Department Head, which includes EAL and Learning Support. I am a Learning Support teacher, and this is my 5th year at AES. One thing I'm really excited about is getting to meet the new 9th grade students and the new students transitioning to AES for the first time. Welcome to AES.
Hello, my name is Shane Russell. I am the head of the Physical and Health Education Department at AES. I'm a teacher of a health and wellness program along with PE and the fitness units at AES. This is my 2nd year at AES, and our team are excited at the prospect for continuing to build an engaging PE health program to support the learning needs of all students at AES.
Hi, my name is Cristina Alcoth. I am the head of the department for counseling. I am one of the academic and university counselors. This is my 6th year at AES. My husband is also a high school teacher. We have 3 children, 1 in university, 1 will be in grade 12, and 1 will be in grade 8. We're also very excited to get back to India as soon as possible. The kids are really happy to go back soon.
I'm Laura Menker, and I am a high school history teacher. So I teach IB psychology and world history. I also work with curriculum development within the high school. And this is my 8th year at AES. And I'm here with my husband who teaches IB Spanish and our 2 daughters who call AES home, and they're in the elementary school. So we're very excited for the new year.
Hi, I'm Linda Hoyseth, and I'm the high school and middle school librarian at AES. My husband, Rob, teaches 6th grade social studies. We have 2 adult children, and this is our 3rd year at AES. And I'm excited to share with you all of the digital and physical resources that the library has to offer.
Thank you, Linda. One of our member of the high school leadership team is not here today. He's actually flying from West Coast Canada to Delhi as we speak. He's Chris Roper, and he's our head of department in the social studies. And he'll be coming back to Delhi in next day or two. Just as a reminder, we have a Q&A that's going on right now. So if you look down on the bottom of the screen, and you will see a Q&A sign, and you could post your questions through that. Please keep one question per comment, that we will be able to answer those questions appropriately in the right order. Okay. Just to refresh our memories from our last webinar, we talked about the priorities in high school going into the school year 2021. It is a special year that we all know it to be. So our social, emotional, and physical well-being will be our top priority for all our high school students and faculty. Academic programs obviously come right after that or right with that. Our students are preparing for their courses and they're getting those academic programs done so that they are ready for the university beyond the high school. So that will be one of our priority as well. Leadership opportunities, community engagement, that will be a priority as well, given the situation that we are doing a lot of it in a unprecedented manner right now. A lot of it are happening through virtual means. And the last point, academic and university counseling is also one of our priority. I'm happy to announce that we are partnering with a consultant out of Boston, Massachusetts, who will be really helping our high school look into how, what, when, and who does the academic and university counseling within high school. And we'll be working with the consultant for over the next 6 months and making sure that we are serving our students the best we can. And more information will come on that in next two to 3 weeks from my office. So what we'll be discussing today in this webinar, the first thing we'll discuss is the type of preparation we are doing in the high school for the connected campus learning. The next point we'll talk about is what to expect for connected campus learning. And we'll talk about some of the things that we are taking from last semester that worked well, and how we're gonna tweak it to make it better. We also will talk about some of the new things that we are thinking about to make sure that our students are getting what they deserve. Expectation and priorities for the first 8 days of school. Amanda and Darwin will talk about that. And we're really envisioning from ground up in how we onboard our new students, and all students for that matter, into high school this year. None of us ended the year last year in a way that we usually do, and none of us are starting the school year this year in the way you usually do. So between those two, and I'm sure none of us really had the summer that we usually do. So with all this unusual things that have happened between last March till now and moving forward, we want to make sure that we really open our mind and open our heart to make sure our students are served as best as we can. And we'll hear more about that in a bit. And we'll also kind of give you some tips and action items for parents and students. So as you finish this webinar and then talk to your child at home, you can give them a heads up about what they need to be looking out for in terms of communications, emails, and messages. So as you all know, it's been busy summer for all of us as either parent or educator or students. Maybe not so much for students in terms of academic business, but busy nonetheless, keeping themselves maybe locked up in places where you might want to go out and do other things. So I'll go through some of the things that we are doing at AES in the high school to prepare ourselves to welcome the students for this academic year. The first one is that the leadership team, the senior leadership team, that includes the director, all the principals, other directors at the school, other leadership team members. We have been meeting, we have not stopped meeting actually since May through the month of June and July. And we meet 2 to 3 times a week to discuss how, when, and what to do in terms of opening the school. So that's been ongoing. I have called our first leadership meeting within high school, and you just met the team that we have. We have around 16 people in that team. And we started to meet starting July 2nd. And we had looked at different research and different models in making sure that we are doing our part to have a strong start at AES for this school year. We have an action committee that includes 6 members of our high school leadership team, and they are responsible with the support of the cabinet and the high school principal. They're responsible to really design how the first 8 day will look like for our students and faculty, and we'll hear more about that. And we have started meeting that group starting July 9th, and they have been working tirelessly in the last 2.5 weeks to get ready. We also have an action team that is really just focusing on the Connected Campus when it comes to online and hybrid instruction. And we are meeting almost on average every 48 hours to discuss the what and the why and the when of our Connected Campus. And just to give you a heads up, on August 12th, which will be the second Wednesday after we start the school, we'll have a partnering with parents session for high school parents. We'll give you the timing and grouping for that maybe a few days before the actual webinar. And please make sure that you save the date, August 12th, and we'll let you know the timing of that of the presentation. Now, you might be thinking, as we are meeting over the last month and a half, what are ways we are actually spending our time and thinking about our work together? We are looking at, as I said earlier, we're looking at different models from different schools. Different organizations are putting out many different information out to the international schools and schools in the US. So we're looking at that and making sure that we are looking, not looking just what we know, but we are looking at what other people are trying to solve and other solutions that they have worked and what the pros and cons on those different models. What are some expected and unexpected consequences for different models that we are looking at. We looked at different types of research on how to do some of our work that we'll be doing starting August 4th. Online teaching, in some ways, it's different. In many ways, it's different. And we are making sure that we are looking at the research and not just basing our decisions on our feelings. So that's going on right now with different groups. Obviously, we're talking to international schools and other US schools, especially our sister school within the MESAC and within India, in Mumbai and Chennai. We are having consistent discussion about what are some best ways to educate our students given the situation we have at our hand. We are working with different consultants. As I spoke earlier, we already partnered with someone for the college and university counseling in terms of looking at our program. We also have multiple consultants that work with us. We have Emma Anderson for mathematics. We have Sean Truman for social emotional, and the list goes on. And we are working with them every week. Our teachers are working with them in making sure that they are understanding and learning and growing to better serve our students when we open the school. We are also tied to multiple professional organizations throughout the world. The top 2 that we really have a deeper connection with are NISA and AAIE. If you want to know more about those organizations, you can just Google them, and you will see that those organizations are one of the top ones in international arena in terms of international education and education in general. Obviously, you're looking into parent and faculty feedback. I know in high school, we have done multiple surveys in the month of March and April and May. Also, there were a school-wide survey, and we're looking back at those those survey results and looking at what worked well or what we could do, we could do better, and how we can really fine-tune our delivery of instruction and delivery of our support services so that our students are more successful in fall compared to spring. As always, our ultimate goal is a safe return to campus as soon as possible. And I underline the word safe because just like you as parents, myself as a parent as well, and as an educator, I think we need to make sure that our students and our faculty are safe as we open our door to start bringing students and faculty back to school. And as we do that, as we plan everything, we are also trying to balance the equity, balance, and safety, all three those categories. So we have those filters on at all time to make sure that we are doing what is right by our students.
Thank you, Iftikhar. So as Mr. Saeed mentioned, with the result of various surveys of parents in the spring showed that the majority were satisfied or very satisfied with how we were handling various aspects of online learning at that time. And so we have a few things here that have been modified just to keep improving what we were already doing, based on feedback that we also got. And so I want to go briefly through some of those, and returning families will recognize those, and new families will have an idea of what to expect. So we're going to have a weekly schedule and overview of assignments that will come from teachers by Saturday evening each week. We'll go to students. It will include when Zoom sessions will be. Those Zoom sessions will also be put on students' calendars as invitations to them directly for whenever there's a synchronous session. That will help keep them organized, and so we appreciate your support in having students use their Google Calendars attached to their Gmail. PowerSchool will be updated every second and fourth Wednesday, largely to reflect any missing work. And so you may see, for example, checks or marks to indicate something is missing versus something's been turned in. The overall course grades will be determined and updated at the middle and end of semester. There'll be optional daily or weekly updates coming to you as parents via the Google Classroom Guardian notifications. These give you a summary of what's happening in all of the classes for your children. And last but not least, daily student announcements. The target audience for these announcements are students, but we're going to be sending them to parents as well, so you can feel that you are fully informed with what's happening in the high school and what students are being communicated and needing to do.
Thank you, Ms. Gelman. This is a slide on what's new within our Connected Campus program in the high school, especially for the returning families. This was not in place in spring, and we are working hard to get this in place so that we are really living our mission. As you know, part of our mission is the joyful pursuit of happiness in academics, athletics, arts, and service. There are 4 pillars, and we are trying to make sure that we are not forgetting the other pillars as we start this year in a different way than normal. So on Wednesday, every Wednesday when we have regular school, we are calling it a no new work Wednesday. It doesn't mean that school is off, either for students or for teachers. It means school is on just like other days, but we will refocus that day in slightly different ways so that we are meeting everybody's need and we are really living our mission in how we do our work. So that Wednesday will really be involved in some ways for the student side. They'll be doing the home base, they'll be meeting for social emotional and team building and community building activities. They'll be obviously have time to finish any unfinished work and assignments from Monday and Tuesday. Multiple clubs and activities will be happening on Wednesdays. I I know we have 12 service learning clubs with 24 or more very interested and active student leaders who are planning right now, even in their summer break, on how to really modify our service program to meet the needs of the time. So they will be working on some of those on Wednesdays. Obviously, our leadership opportunity for our students through class council and executive council work will happen also through Wednesday. Great, activities clubs like Model UN, the MISEC academic games, the international math competition that we have been doing for years and has been very successful. We will figure out a way to do it virtually, and we'll use some of the Wednesday time to do some of those. This also will give a window to our counselors to make sure that they're checking either in a small group or grade level or individual students check in. Obviously, they'll be checking with the students on other days as well, but that gives them a more conflict-free time to do some important check-in with the students as well. And with that, all that's going on Wednesday, we also will be offering small group AP and IB HL support opportunities for students, depending on what HL and what AP they're taking, and more information will come to the students as we start this process. So Wednesday will look and feel a bit different than the spring, and I think it will create the level of success that we hope our students achieve in this environment. As I said in the first webinar, so I'm repeating myself on this slide, but it's an important message to everybody. Our social emotional counselor, Ms. Angela Mack, she will start meeting with the students very soon, starting at August 5th or 6th. She will be prioritizing students who have a referral from any counselor or faculty member first. And once those are done in the first 2-3 weeks, she will then move on to meeting each student in 9th grade. It'll take some time, of course, but once she's done, she'll move on to 10th and then 11th and 12th. So the social emotional counselor will have her time spread out in these priorities. Excuse me. And for our 3 academic and university counselors, Ms. Alkos, Mr. Griffithson, and Ms. Thompson, they are actually meeting with all the new students right now, if they're new to AES, and they're putting their schedule together. I know Ms. Jelming is also meeting with families if they're in 11, 12, coming in new for the IB program. So those will be happening for new students right now between now and August, let's say August 10th. Starting August 10th and beyond, these 3 counselors will be meeting starting with the 12th grade student. And by the end of August, all our 12th grade students will have their individual counseling conversation with each of their counselors by end of the month. And once the 12th graders are done, the counselors then move on with the 11th and then 11th and then 10th and then 9th. So that's the priority. And we did that intentionally so that by the time we get to September, October, each student will have multiple interaction with multiple counselors. And obviously we'll talk more about how they'll be interacting with their home base or time zone teachers as well. I'll invite Amanda at this point and Darwin also to talk about the first aid day.
Wonderful. Thank you, Iftikhar. I'm very pleased to be sharing this with you because the key word that I want to be using is intentional. We have been meeting as a group of team members, being very purposeful and intentional about planning these first 8 days for our students. It is important that they have a solid foundation this year. Each student, each child has had a unique experience ending last school year and over the summer. And we want to make sure that we give students the time, the space, and the tools to really reflect on that experience and grow from it so that they can start this year off strong. So for the first 8 days, we're not relying completely on feeling, as Iftikhar had said earlier. We are looking at current research on what students really need. And what students really need is to have that connection with trusted adults. And we don't want it to be just one person. Parents, of course, are a very large part of that, but they need to have the connections at school. And this is for returning students and new students as well. So we're being very intentional about looking at research on that to set up that structure. The other part of this is AES took the time to gather feedback from students and parents last year, and we're looking at that and not just putting that by the wayside. It was very clear from our community that the students missed having that connection with their teachers and most importantly, their classmates. And so we're practicing and organizing synchronous and asynchronous structures so that we can go ahead and meet the needs of our students in that respect. With that is going to become modeling new tools for the kids. One of the most important things that we can do for students this year is providing them feedback, consistent feedback so that they can reflect and grow and be in charge of their own learning. And there will be tools that they will need to practice those first 8 days so that they can go ahead and gather that feedback. I think the most important thing is that we really want to promote that communication with the parents and students and talking to each other. We really believe that this is a stool, and a stool cannot stand on just two legs. We need 3 legs. So the educators and parents and students really need to be communicating together so that we can support each other for the most successful year. Darwin?
Thanks so much, Amanda. So what are we doing during the first 8 days of school? We're going to intentionally focus on the 4 domains listed there. Number 1, we're going to focus on building community, because we know that students will go through any hardships they may face if they have their friends with them. And like Amanda said, the surveys from last year showed us how important the AES community is to our students. Secondly, we're going to build our students' academic competence through activities such as digital footprint, tech skills, and effective learning strategies, which is something I wish someone taught me when I was in high school. This is going to serve them well whether they're in an online environment or if we're all back on campus. Thirdly, we're going to focus on their health and their social and emotional well-being, such as the importance of sleep and its connection to learning, resilience, and growth mindset. And then during the second week, what we're going to do is we're going to start transitioning students to their academic classes so that they're ready to go for the start of week 3. For this, we're forming time zone teams where students will be matched with teachers who are in similar or same time zones so that these sessions can be held synchronously. Then at the end of the second week, the time zone team teachers will reach out to each student and family for a check-in to see how everyone is doing and to reflect on the students' personal makeover plans. We are really looking forward to seeing the students again after the summer. Iftikhar?
Thank you, Darwin.
So for our contacts, some of this slide we've had before, but some of it is becoming more relevant because it begins next week. People to contact for various issues. So for example, for attendance, if your child is sick or you are you're transitioning, shifting back to Delhi, and we need to know about some absences, please reach out to Ms. Apok, Ms. Sangtam, either via email or phone during business hours. As with any school year, if you have questions about classes and the academics, please reach out to individual teachers. We have the counselors and Ms. Mack for various support with academic and social emotional concerns. If you have questions about IB or AP, reach out to me. And if you have a question and doesn't fit one of those categories, then please do reach out to Mr. Kitch and he will help you.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. This is back to, actually, no, I was going to talk about that. And as I said earlier, on August 12th, we will be having another webinar Zoom call with our high school parents, and we'll talk more about some of the details that most likely at that point you would need to know or like to know about how the days and the weeks will go beyond the second week of school. So that's the second Wednesday after we open the school. and I would like to see you there so that we can connect and we can continue to be partners in the success of our students. Amanda, I think you're up.
And building on that idea of partnership, we actually are going to have a homework assignment for parents. It is important for us as the teachers at the school to know what your dreams are for your children. Each of our students, each of your children, they've had a unique experience, and we want to be able to support them this year. So we are going to be assigning you a homework assignment here shortly, where we're giving you the opportunity to write a letter in 1,000,000 words or less, just sharing your hopes and your dreams for your children this year, letting us know how you feel we can best support them.
And yet another way we want to partner with the parents is that we're going to share a lot of the lessons that the students are going to have during the first 8 days. So the lesson on sleep is going to be shared with you because we know there's a direct link between sleep and learning, and then learning impacts grades. So we want to share the research with you and the best practices there. And for the effective learning habits and strategies, we want to share that with you so you can help support your child at home. So this is an important piece of what we're going to be doing in the near future. All right. So all new students are going to have their login details emailed to the parents and to them by August the 1st. If there's ever any issues, whether it's tech issues or login issues, please email Mr. Joyce and Mr. Hardyall. They'll be sure to help you out. They're fantastic and they work out of the hub here at the high school. Power School Access opens on August 4th at 8 a.m. in the morning. And home bases, when you see login, you'll see the class schedules. The home bases may not appear exactly as they should be right there. There may be some tinkering there that we have yet to do. If you do have any questions about your child's courses, just please contact their counselor. Next. Thanks, Iftikhar. So we wanted to take a minute and just review all the expectations for students during synchronous sessions. So first of all, there's an old saying, 5 minutes early means you're on time. So if students can log in 5 minutes early, it gives them a chance to log in, connect, and troubleshoot any problems they might have. And then that way they're not going to be late to any of the sessions. We're asking that all students mute their audio and keep their video on. This ensures that there's no interruptions and that teachers can see if students are engaged. We also ask that there be no of those fancy virtual backgrounds because that can be distracting to staff and students. Another ask we have is that students should have their full name visible. If they have a preferred name, they're welcome to put those in parentheses so that appears to everyone in the Zoom session. And all students should be in a room free of distractions where they can focus on the task at hand. We also want to make sure that students check behind them to make sure that there's no personal items that might be a little on the embarrassing side. And finally, we're asking that all students dress as if they're going to school.
Thank you, Darwin. Those are all important reminder. We are almost close to our webinar in terms of the recorded session, and we'll move on to in next minute or two into our live Q&A session. Before I go to our live Q&A session, I just want to say one thing, and as I say this, I remind myself, as I remind all of us who are listening today, this is a tiring time, and this is something that we are trying to almost building the plane as we fly it in many ways, as a parent, as an educator, in so many ways. With that in mind, I call for compassion and empathy among our community members. And please reach out to us, reach out to me, Darwin, on any one of us in high school, the counselors, Dr. Torres, whoever you feel most comfortable reaching out, reach out if you need help, if you need any help with anything that is going on in the school. We are happy to have a Zoom call. We are happy to converse with email. But please know that we are here. I'm not saying that we have open door because until some time we will not be meeting face to face. We'll most likely have all the parent meeting through Zoom. So send us an email if you'd like, and we'll be happy to reach out and sit down and talk through whatever that we are dealing with. I tell my faculty every time I meet is that, everybody is fighting some battle that the rest of us don't know anything about. And in front of the Zoom calls, we do put on a happy face and a smile. But I know that we have family who are in hospitals. We have friends who are in critical condition all over the world, and we're all dealing with something that that we need to be mindful of. So with that, I'm going to end this recorded part of the webinar, and we'll move on to the live Q&A. So see you soon in a few seconds. Okay, so we are back in live now. Once again, it's really great to see a lot of our parents attending this webinar. We have answered many of the questions in written form. I'm going to say a few things about there are questions about synchronous and asynchronous right now in many people's mind, and how to balance that. What happens with students who are not able to come to Delhi right now? What happens to students who will be in the process of getting back to Delhi and will have to go through 15 days of quarantine? What happens if you are in Delhi and one of your family member gets sick, or you have someone at your home who is elderly and in a higher risk, and think about how you're going to go about attending school. So all those things are something that we are discussing among our leadership team. There will be synchronous teaching, and there will be asynchronous learning. It will be a mixture of both as we start our school. When we are all online the first 3 weeks, obviously, depending on where you are in terms of your time zone, and depending on where teachers are in terms of their time zone, and as they're coming back, we have to do our best to make sure that we are running the synchronous classes in a way that is helpful for all our students. Those synchronous lessons will be recorded and posted through the Google Classroom and other means, so that students who are not here in Delhi or not here in the same time zone with the teachers, they have a way to receive the instruction. In many ways, the first instruction, the first learning, whether it's synchronous or asynchronous, it's actually, it works both ways. And in some ways, actually, it works asynchronously better, because the students can really replay the video lesson and learn. Where the synchronous comes in is really when they're doing group work, when there's a direct feedback loop between the teachers and student, and they're kind of diving deeper into the concept. So those will be present, whether it's online or hybrid. We will have this format for all our students and for all our teachers. Anyone else from the panelists would like to add anything to synchronous and asynchronous? Please feel free. There are some questions about facilities. Obviously, when we are online and campus is closed, it is closed. So unfortunately, we will not be able to bring in students when school is going online. But when we go into hybrid, we have to look at the safety and security and the number of students and many other things in terms of how we keep our students and faculty safe. We are working on those plans. We are working on international SOS. Dr. Nader Collins is meeting with them most likely every other day on making those plans. So we'll inform everybody as we transition from online to hybrid. There is a question about webinar for the senior parents. Of course, there will be multiple opportunities for all grade level in high school. And like I say every year, our senior class is a special class, and we'll have special attention to their needs, because their needs is different than sometimes in some ways other classmates. So we'll have a separate webinar for our 12th grade parents, helping them understand the journey that they will go through this year. We do it every year in live in our theater, but we will do it through Zoom call this year. And at times there will be counselors led, at times there will be principals led, at times there will be other professionals in school, and they'll be leading those conversations with the senior class. But it'll be open for all division at various times, and we'll inform you with the schedule of different grade level when we'll be doing those meetings. There's a question about requiring students who are not in the same time zone and the synchronous teaching falls outside their normal school day or reasonable hours within their day. Of course, we need to be mindful of the students' need, and we need to understand that our students, as Darwin said, there is a direct correlation between the quality and the amount of sleep they get, and the quality and amount of work they produce. So we want them to be sleeping properly, 8, 9, 10 hours a day if possible. I know some of you are smiling right now when I say 8, 9 hours for our teenagers, but that's, they need a lot of sleep. So we'll make sure that we build in our system in ways that allows them to do what they need to do during the night, which is sleeping, and then beyond that they will be able to do the learning, some synchronously and some asynchronously, depending on how the day looks like. The Wednesday will come in handy on situation like that, and teachers will be offering some office hours beyond the school day, so that those students who are not in the same time zone will be able to catch up with their feedback, with their different ways to learn from the teachers and from small group instruction. So we'll be definitely looking to that, and will not require any students to stay past, we haven't discussed the time, but I would say stay past 9 o'clock at night, or wake up anytime before 6 a.m. There's a question about college and university visits to our. As you know, we are in constant communication with our universities, that usually visit us. We have, in regular year, we have 220 to 240 university and colleges that visit us every year. Some of them come in a big fair situation where we open our gym and they have 20, 30, 40 university come at a time. And throughout the year, one or two university comes every week. We put them in the breezeway. Obviously, this semester one will be quite different for those universities. They are not traveling, and we will not be actually opening our doors to outside visitor right now anyway, given the situation in Delhi. But the biggest issue is they're not traveling at all. What they are doing actually though on the side is they're offering some web-based, similar to what we are doing right now, webinar and college visits through online. And our counselors will be informing parents and students as those come, and usually starts mid-August, late August through the month of September, October. So as we get started on those, we will be communicating with parents and students. Keep an eye on the student announcement every day that will come out of high school office. And usually we send that to high school students only. But this year, given the situation, we decided that we'll also email directly those student announcement to parents. And you will know what the day will look like for the students next day. And there will be a lot of information about college visits and all those webinars that we would like our students and parents to attend. So those will come. There's a question about how do we know who is the counselor for your kid? It is based on last names, and we have shared that information in my email, I think a few weeks ago to the parents, and also in the last webinar. And I'm going to put that information in the chat, those are by last name. So Ms. Jelming, if you could put that in the chat, that'll be great. We are 2 minutes away from the 1 hour mark. Maybe we can answer one or two more questions, and then we'll say goodbye for today. Just a reminder, August 12th, we will meet again, and I will inform you with the timings of that webinar. It could be multiple webinar so that it caters to all the grade level and all the time zones that our parents and students are in, but we'll inform you a week before that date so that you can put that in your calendar. Dr. Torres, anything else in your mind?
No, thank you, Iftikhar. Just a friendly reminder that tomorrow we will be doing our final webinar this week, and we'll focus on middle school programs. Miss Clifton and her team will be online delivering a presentation and answering questions, and I hope that you all will attend. Thank you so much. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, everyone. This presentation will be shared in the website that Mr. Torres already had. Dr. Torres already had shared the link, and we'll email this out as well. Once again, thank you. The questions that are not being answered right now, there are a few left. We will try to get back to you with those answers, either in written form or in the next webinar. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time, and we are looking forward to have our students back as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.